Alright guys, what is up? It's your boy Cole back with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be helping you guys improve on editing in Fortnite, improve your editing speed, try to find the best binds for editing. I'll go through what binds do and don't work necessarily, because a lot of people seem to struggle with that. I get this question a lot on stream pretty much all the time about my binds. A lot of people ask how I'm so fast at editing or how I'm so consistent. And while I think there's people who are far more consistent than I am still very consistent at a top level in that regard. So I figure I can help you guys out. I mean, if you do show the video some love, I'd really appreciate it. Drop a like, drop a sub. Let's get into it. First thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is best binds for editing. And I think this is super important. And I think not enough people harp on this, but I think if you have poor binds, if you have bad binds, you are going to very much so struggle with editing basic things, let alone hitting a triple edit or quad edit. You're going to struggle with a ton. You need to have efficient binds to maximize your potential. And I think people with the best binds are overall going to edit more consistently, more smoothly, and faster even, because they will get the motion down a lot faster. You know what I mean? So I think good binds for editing, best binds. Touchpad is one of the best binds you can use. Either you call it like this. You basically hit it with your upper left, your left index, or your right index, like that on the top of your controller. Pretty much, I think touchpad and paddle on the left side are the best edit binds you can possibly have on controller. If you have anything else, that's fine, but I think those two are the most efficient if you can possibly have them. Third best edit bind is left stick, and the reason I don't say left stick is at the same level as touchpad or paddle is because it affects your movement. You have to run with your left stick, you have to run sideways, really focus on movement. I still think it's a top tier edit bind, and some of the best binds you can find for editing involve left stick edit. I completely agree. I think left stick is a great bind, but it's just behind touchpad and paddle strictly because of the movement potential. You lose out on some movement potential, because if I edit with my touchpad, I can do whatever I want with my left stick. If I edit with my outside paddle in the back, I can do whatever I want with my left stick. Does that make sense? I think edit binds that are no-nos, that are do not do these edit binds. I think editing with any face button, if you don't play claw, if you play claw, do whatever you want. I think if you don't play claw, taking your thumb off the stick to edit with your face button is the worst thing you could do. It's the worst thing you could do, because you take your thumb off the stick, so you have to press edit and then you have to go back to your thumbstick. It's so inefficient, it's so bad, it's not quick. And I think right stick is a horrible edit bind. I think it's really bad. If you play right stick, I think you should change it. Obviously, if you're good with it, you can be really very good with it. I'm not doubting you, because there's some people who play well on the worst binds ever, and they edit with their and they have no claw, no paddles. They play on really bad binds, and they're still super efficient, super fast, whatever. You can get good on anything. The point is, if you are struggling, I think these edit binds are really bad. Like I said, those three edit binds are the three that I would 100% recommend. Left stick, touchpad, and paddle. Left stick being the worst of the best, but it's still the best, one of the best edit binds for sure. Okay, so those are my best binds. Those are the best binds for editing. Now, it just strictly edit button. Now, I haven't even gotten into the confirm section of this. Confirming edits for me, and like I said, I will be making a video on confirming edits and edit on release, and cons and negatives, like pros and cons of edit on release, pros and cons of double edit binds on controller. For anyone that doesn't know, keyboarders cannot use double edit binds. I believe they can use triple edit binds. Double edit binds removes their scroll wheel though. So basically on keyboard, say I place a wall and I want to edit. I press F, edit, F. Like F, select edit, F again. You're pressing the same bind, F for both. So you have to double tap F. that takes some time. But you know what would be really efficient is if you edit, like I said, on controller. So for me, I edit with my inside left paddle, and I confirm my edits with my outside right paddle. I do not play edit on release. I used to. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's very good, and I think if your binds are not that great, edit on release is a super great edit way to edit. I think it's a really good way to edit, especially if your binds are that good. If you have potential to have super good binds, I highly recommend double edit binds, because it's proven to be faster. It's significantly faster, and it's faster on bad ping too. So say you play like a tournament on West and you're an East player and you have 60 ping, or say you have 60 ping in general, I think double edit binds are a lot better and a lot faster than edit on release. Like I said, the keyboard comparison is like, for keyboard, like I said, you press F, edit, F again. For controller, that would be the equivalent of pressing, for me, my inside left paddle, doing this, and then pressing my inside left paddle again, which would be slow because it's the same paddle twice. Why would I want to press the same paddle twice when I can do this and then that and instantly press them? Like inside left, outside right. Like I can literally press these at almost the exact same time. You see what I'm saying? This is also a crouch bind. That's why you see me crouching, if that makes sense. So one of the best analogies that I've heard anyone use is this. When you clap, this is the edit and release double edit bind analogy. why double edit binds are faster, if this makes any sense, when you clap your hands together. I'm trying to explain this in the best way possible for people who are casuals and don't really understand. Edit and release is sort of like this. You clap, and when you release your hands, the edit would be released. Does that make sense? But why do this and release rather than just 2 claps simultaneously at the exact same time? If 2 people clap at the exact same time, there could be 1 clap that is a millisecond after the other clap, and that would be the equivalent to you pressing your edit bind and then confirming your edit. You can literally press both binds at almost the exact same time. And why have a clap and release rather than 2 claps at almost the exact same time? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. That's the best example I've heard, but it makes so much sense. You're basically pressing 2 binds that get something done rather than using 1 bind twice. And edit and release is great, like I said, for bad binds. But if you have good binds or have potential to have good binds, I think double edit binds are super useful and super great. I think if you're a 2 paddle controller player, the best binds you could probably have are editing with touchpad. I think jumping on your left paddle, if you are a 2 paddle player, I'm not going to go over claw players. I don't really know how they play. I know they use a lot of their face buttons because they claw it, and they have 4 extra buttons. It's pretty much like me having 4 extra paddles because they use their face buttons. But if you play with 2 paddles on your controller, I think your left paddle should be jump, your right paddle should be switch mode, like pull up builds and confirm edit. And I think you should use that confirm edit. But I think you should use left stick edit or touchpad edit. And I think you should confirm your edits. And I think that would be the best possible bind situation for you. It's your call though. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Like I said, confirm edits is really good. I think making sure your edit and confirm bind are on 2 separate hands is super important, because you don't want to use it. You don't want to use that F example twice. You don't want to press F twice. You don't want to press something too close to the other one twice. Because I use my inside left paddle and my outside right paddle to confirm, I can be super quick and super efficient with it. Does that make sense? I shouldn't be cranking while I'm talking. I can't even focus on this. I can't even be focused on anything. So I've talked about best binds to edit with, worst binds to edit with, and what to do with edit and release, like when to play with edit and release and when to play with double edit binds. Next is something like edit efficiency. I'm going to go on to this other map to show you guys this. Something like this. When you edit these 4 tiles in the bottom, say you want to make this 4 tile edit, you want to keep it as concise as possible, as small of an edit as possible. Realistically, if you could touch here, 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 and here, that's the edit you'd want to do because it's super efficient. Most likely you're going to be like this. Like this small circle is where you want to be in. You don't want to be editing like that to speed up your edits, because that just takes a lot of time. And I know this is really basic. This might sound really stupid to a lot of you guys, but a lot of people still don't understand this. I feel like you don't want to, if you're making a, you know, if you're doing that edit, it's really easy to do that. If you're doing this edit, just go like that. Like some people take too much swing in it. You know what I mean? They get too much like that's that's super inefficient when you can just go like that. Why go like this to get all 4 tiles when you can just be really close and concise? And something like that leads you into other edits. So if you make a very small edit here, like I said, say you're doing a Mongrel Classic. For anyone that doesn't know what a Mongrel Classic is, you take a wall, you go like this, and you flip the ramp. Like you just take the wall, flip the ramp. One of the hardest things to get people to understand is edit efficiency in this type of way. So what you want to do with this, you take the wall and you want to end a Mongrel Classic. If I were to say, obviously do it whatever way you want. If you want to do it like this and then like that, that's fine. Do it literally whatever way you want. But I personally think the best way to do a Mongrel Classic is to end on either this window slot or this window slot. Those 2 are the best to end on. You know why? Because you like this. Make the edit, you end here, confirm the edit, ramp, pull straight down. If you end on that left tile, ramp, pull straight down. You see what I'm saying? You end on the outer right tile, ramp, by the time you're pressing edit, straight down. If that doesn't make sense to you, if I were to edit like this and then ramp, I'd have to adjust my right stick again to the right and then pull down. Now, why would I want to do that when I could just already be right in this spot? If I end on this right tile or the left tile, obviously vice versa. If I end on this right tile and I pull the ramp, I only have to pull straight down. Does that make sense? Super simple concept that not a lot of people put into their gameplay enough. And if you practice things like this, you'll become significantly more efficient on stuff. Like it just helps you overall. Like, see what I'm saying? So watch, like upper right here, edit, pull down. This is a really good warm-up for Mongrel Classics and working on your edits in the exact way I'm talking about. Look how efficient that is. No wasted movement almost at all. I'm doing this while talking, obviously, too, so it's a lot harder for me to like fully focus. But you don't want to waste movement is the exact thing. You don't want to make an edit like this and then end here and then Mongrel Classic over there. You want to end there and pull straight down. Something like that throughout your game, if you could find a way to mix your edits into place and make them so they're more efficient, it'll help you in the long run become more consistent with everything. And you'll become overall just a better, more efficient editor, and most likely faster as well. It's saving you time. It's cutting down speed. You know what I mean? Like something like that is super important that I think a lot of people disregard. They just overlook entirely. Now that I've talked about certain situations like that, I think there are a lot of situations like that. For example, like this. Like if you want to double, like triple edit down here, you want to make this edit like this. Maybe say you pull back, whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter which way you do it. You pull back, go straight down. Your edit bind's here. So why not go like that? You know what I mean? Like you don't want to make an edit like this, and then your edit bind's here when you just went down this floor, and then you don't want to go like this and then like that, because you have to look up to do that. Not that it's that difficult, but it's just inefficient. Like why not just do some really basic smooth editing? You know what I mean? Ah, yes, I choke it 6 times, so you get the point. One tip with editing that I think is really underlooked and undervalued entirely is editing through windows. I think editing through windows is one of the most important useful skills you can use in this entire game. For example, something like this. Someone's in this box right here, right? And you know they're in your box. You have them full box, but you know that they have this right wall. So they can get out this right wall. Say the right wall's open even. You get them in the box. I'll use wood for my builds. You get them in the box. They're fully boxed right there, and you know they're going to run out the right. Something you can do, which a lot of people don't do still. A lot of people will just try to edit in. They'll run out the right. They'll follow them, whatever. They'll chase them. That's bad. What you can do if you know they're going to go out the right is preemptively go like this. You place a wall, and you edit a cone, and then you just, you know, you edit a window, place the cone in their full box. Like someone's in the box out ahead of you. Super easy. They're just boxed. I mean, it's just, you know, editing through windows is the most important thing you can learn to do in this game to be at a top level, because people can't shoot through windows as easily. Mongrel classicing through windows is super important. Something like that is just super easy to know and easy to learn, and it's not easy to learn. It's difficult. It's a difficult trick, but it's like, look how easy it is to box someone through a window. They're running to the right, and you know they're running to the right. Why not just box them like that? You don't want to make an edit that leads you to getting shot. So if you're same thing, if someone's in a box right here, right? They're in this box and they're sitting behind their cone. Why would you make this edit and then just go for a shot and go for a reset when they see this? They have you fully exposed. Why would you make an edit like this when you can just make an edit like this? And then you have a right hand peek. Obviously you can do a big edit as long as you have a right hand, which I think is another valuable tool of double edit binds. If you were on edit on release, you'd have to be staring at this tile and then let go. But with double edit binds, I can literally line it up on his head, sit here, and then go like that. You know what I mean? I can make a better right hand peek. And I think right hand peeks like this are fine if you're making a big edit, but windows are super efficient right hand peeks. You can make that edit. You can run around here, crouch here, stand up, and go for a little peek shot. You know what I mean? Like there's something super simple to it. Like the point is, like when you make an edit on someone, you want to be as efficient as possible with the edit. And also windows are faster. There's a lot to windows that work. Like look, say someone's in that box, I just Mongrel classic them through a window. Being able to box people through windows is probably the most underrated thing in the entire game that a lot of people still don't utilize. I still see people making huge edits. I recently talked to a couple pros that were saying they make edits too big and it screws them over pretty bad in game. They wish they were making smaller edits more, because window edits are super efficient. They're the best way to box someone, best way to box someone, best way to get a shot off without getting shot back. You know, window edits are just super underrated. And I think one of the biggest things you have to do practicing, now that I've gone over binds, what edits are the best, how to keep your edits efficient, I think one of the biggest things to end up practicing often is your edit timing. I think timing, timing is one of the most important things in editing in general. Whether you play edit on release or confirming edits, you want to practice, even if you have to take it slow. Raiders has a very good course for this. I believe he just came out with like a slow-mo like mechanic course, if you guys haven't looked it up. It lets you edit in slow-mo, and it literally lets you, what you should be doing is just practice pressing your edit bind. And obviously if you play on edit and release, timing super important. Timing might even be more important than edit and release. You want to practice, hit your edit bind, and then select the edit and then confirm, and do that slow if you have to. Really take your time with everything until you build up the muscle memory to just, you know, eventually take it to the next level and start going really fast with it. Something like that is super important and super underrated that people don't think about enough. Like it's better to be slow and steady and efficient and consistent than to be fast, than to be fast and inefficient. Does that make sense? You don't want to be a fast editor that misses half his edits. You know how much better it would be to hit a triple edit like this? Like that seems slow, right? It's better to do that than to miss the edit 4 times and like struggle. You might, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's better to be efficient and slow and consistent and doing the right things than to be super fast and messing up all the time. Overall, even in game, you might think it's cooler or better to be flashy. It's better to be not flashy and super consistent. Someone like Epic Whale, I think, is like the perfect example of this. He is not the fastest editor in the world by any means, but he is one of the most consistent I've ever seen. He doesn't miss a lot of edits. He's very consistent with his crosshair placement. His movement's always on point with his edits. Like if he's making this edit, he's getting behind the wall and really lining it up. If he's making an edit like this, he's getting behind the wall, the right hand. Like you want to be consistent and slow, and then pick up the pace eventually when you get that consistency. Until that consistency comes, there's no reason to go too fast. Hopefully all that made sense. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys have any other questions, I can always get to you guys, help you out. Like this was just a highly recommended video, highly recommended question. People come into my stream hundreds of times a day and say, hey, like, how do you edit so fast? How are you so consistent? And like I said, while I'm not the most consistent in my own mind, and I know there's other people who are better than me at the game, in terms of edit speed, when I'm trying to be fast, or edit consistency, like I can be very fast and consistent. So it definitely makes sense why a lot of people ask the question. So I think this is as best of an explanation as I could. Wasn't a scripted video, wasn't planned. I just came into it trying to give my thoughts and talk, which I think are the most genuine, the most enjoyable videos. Kind of like my stream version 2. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, drop a sub. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me a ton. If you guys have any more tutorials you want, maybe let me know in the description. I think I will be doing a aim tutorial on controller, like how to get more consistent, better aim. Like I'll probably talk about like thumbsticks to use and like preferences and stuff, because I do think a lot of things are a preference at the end of the day. Like all comes down to what you want, what you think. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.